For our next trick, we're going to put in our navigation not only the nav bar, but the hamburger or the menu. Okay, so let's go to our tool once again. Now we're going to do our menu. Now there's a menu button here. So let's create this. Okay, the first thing you'll notice that you can drag your picture. It has to be on the web. This will not work if it's on your computer. I'm just going to drag this over to the AMPKit and put it right in that square. And look, it shows up in the menu creator. What's good about this is that now that you can see the colors, you can drag the colors over and see if you can match colors that are inside there we go. Those look kind of tomato-like. Okay, now let's see if we can go for some green for the hover. Okay, let's make some light tomatoey green. And as you move these colors around, you can see what your button bar is going to look like with those colors. Alright, and then maybe a different color green. There we go. That's probably, I don't know, what do you think? And then probably have, and let's say we want this exact color for our other button. We can type these in, 197, 45, and 0. Okay, so that way we're sure that this color and that color is the same. Let's create our buttons. Go to Button Composer, and the top line is our parent line of buttons. Home, how about us, how about tomatoes, and then how about gift shop, and then programs. Okay, so under programs you could have kids and adult activities, and then family activities, and let's say scholarship. Whatever. About us could be history and mission, and maybe contact. We'll put a contact. And contact will be directory and location. Okay, so here's our buttons, and we could create our button bar. You can see it is right here if you want to see how all that works. I'll show you how to use this menu in another video, because the one we're going for is this one. Now I can get rid of these tomatoes just by clicking that little checkbox. It brings the tomatoes up and you can look at it. Okay, so now we have our beautiful menu bar. It's just exactly what is needed. So look, now that all that is composed, I'm going to hit button bar, button B, HTML. This is button A in case you want that style, but we're going to do the button B. I'm going to click that. It selects my button bar. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go and find my nav. Here it is. Content for nav goes here. I don't want any padding, so I'm going to get rid of that nested div. There we go. Now if we were to look at this, there wouldn't be much to see, because there it is. There's our button bar, but wait, there's no buttons. That's because we have to now go and get the styles to get the styles for the button. So I'm going to select them. You click that button, you can see you don't even have to go down. It's gonna select them. I'm going to copy, and I'm going to paste it in the embedded style sheet. I think for this one, I think I'm going to put it at the bottom of the closing style, around line 295. And there, we're going to paste that in. And then when we look at our beautiful site, we now have our button bar. It's gorgeous. And it is really close to the colors because we were able to look at the tomatoes. Alright, content for the header goes here. This is actually where we're going to put our menu. So now let's go back to the kit, and you'll see that there is the AMP menu, and that's going to create the hamburger for us. But let me just point this out before I forget. If you go a little bit further to the color palette, you'll see the colors, a color palette of what you use. So and then the RGB colors that make up those. If I wanted, I could do a screenshot and have that in Photoshop, so as I'm doing other things I can create a consistency in color. So I'm just going to hit this dark spot up here, just so I just wanted you to know it's there. Okay, now, so here's the AMP menu. The first thing we have to do is grab the red portion. This is the link to the AMP JavaScript library. So I'm going to copy the red portion. I'm going to go to my site in Dreamweaver, and under title I'm going to put that JavaScript. The slider needs that in order for it to work. Then I'm going to grab just the styles, copy that. I'm going to put that in my embedded style sheet, and you know what, just to separate it from my other button bar, I'm going to paste it right after the opening custom style. There's that. Then I have to go down here and get the actual menu button, the toggle button. So I'm going to copy that, and where's it go? In your header, perhaps? Yes. Not only is it going to go in the header, but it is going to go into the nested. Okay, so let's find a header. There's the nav. Here's the header. And look, here is the class nested for header. And I'm going to paste that in there. If I was to look at it now, you'd see that there is a hamburger exactly in that spot. But of course it's not going to work, because there's one more thing we have to do. And that's where we actually put our button bar right after the closing body tag. So I'm going to copy select it, copy it, and it says right after the closing body tag, which is way down at the bottom. Here's a closing body tag. So I'm going to give some space and paste that in. So if I save it, now my sidebar, my navigation is going to work. There it is. Okay, so that's what we do to get the colors. You'll see that there's a moose picture on here. Really, you can change that or eliminate it however you want. If you go down to the code that we put after the closing body, you can see there's an image here, and it's a moose, and you can replace this with whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Okay, so now let me just save all, and we'll take a look. And this is our website so far. It's got a header image, it's got our menu in place, and it has another image down here with a caption. Okay, so that is that. That is putting in images, and it's putting in the nav bar.